technical difficulties to start the show. Sorry about that. Facebook was some technical difficulties. Facebook wasn't let us going live. I think Cuomo put the kibosh on it. What's going on, everybody? As you can see, it's not my normal sidekick here. Kenny, it's his daughter's birthday, and we'd like to wish Sophia a happy birthday. And but there's a lot to talk. I got a lot to talk about. Got my man Jake here. Say hi, Jake. Pick your head up. Pick your head up so people can see it.
Right. I'm looking at this to make sure everything's going on here.
The show is not going to be any different than it normally has, just because Kenny's not here. Jake's going to run the board, the camera, and we're gonna have some good discussion. I'm sorry we're late again. If you're just joining us on Facebook, like I don't know what to tell you. These things happen. So I wanted to start off by my goal is to lose some weight. Right? So we're going on vacation. We're going to be at the beach. And I'm just going to listen, I weigh 228 pounds. I'm just going to put it out there to the people and give an update. I don't have a before and after picture, standing there with my belly all out so we can see the progress. But yeah, I'm a fat ass. So yeah, 228. My goal as we progress through this show, not through this show, I'm not going to lose weight progressing through this show. But as we keep going, I need to lose. I want to get down to about 190, 195. I get my beach body. I get down to my my original fighting weight. Jake, what do you weigh? Do you know?
I've been losing weight because I've been like running. So I was like the most I've ever been was probably like 168. Last time I checked, I was like 162.
162. Last time I saw 162, I was like 7. Not even kidding. A lot to talk about. The number to call in is 845-366-2095. 845-366-2095.
You got the Bluetooth all hooked up?
I'm ready to go. I think. Yeah, we're good. We're good on that. 845-366-2095.
Hold on. Should I close that door?
Can you hear it? Yeah. There's a bunch of studios in this building. It's like XM. So across the hall, there's somebody, doing a show.
Yeah. We bought the studio. This is definitely not in Kenny's house. Definitely not.
I think we need to renegotiate this contract.
There's no window either.
No window.
I don't know why we say that on Chase and I's podcast. Like we always or Chase and me. I don't know English. But,
Are you honors English?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
We always say there's not a window, even though there is. Because studios don't have windows.
No, we got a window.
We don't have a window. What are you talking about?
Look, so we're going to talk about some school sports, local school sports, the board vote, stuff like that. I got some other things I really want to rant about. So we were in Scranton, Pennsylvania yesterday. Jake had a PBR event. They call it PBR, Prep Baseball Report. I do all like your metrics, like how hard you throw the ball and hitting and stuff like that. But consistently on Facebook, and by the way, people got to stop complaining on Facebook and social media. You just have to stop complaining. Enough is enough. I mean, at what point? I mean, it's just at what point? Not only is it affecting everybody else, but it's got to be affecting you. I'm gonna rant about that a little bit later. But one thing I constantly see by people are the roads. Everybody's complaining about the Kingston roads. Kingston roads suck. Kingston roads are the worst. I'm here to tell you, I travel all across the Northeast for work. These roads are no worse than anywhere else. If you're shocked by the way the roads are in the winter, in the spring, you haven't been paying attention, or you haven't lived in the Northeast your whole life. The roads are shit here. But it's not just here. It's the entire Northeast. Boston, terrible roads. Connecticut, terrible roads. Staten Island, brutal roads.
Well,
Scranton.
I think we just get it. We just say that in Kingston because there's just that one area where like the roads are really really bad. Like there's that one like area just right in the middle of Kingston that's just like really really bad.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple places in Kingston where the Mars moon rover would have trouble getting through, but
Yeah.
it's everywhere. I mean, how bad were the roads in Scranton? Driving around Scranton.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, they were terrible.
I mean, Scranton's weird though because it's like a city and then you just go like right into like a rural looking town.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of set up weird, but the roads are terrible. New Jersey, the roads are terrible. And you can't make left-hand turns. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, awful. Awful roads. It's the Northeast. It's the seasons. It's freezing. It's the ground thawing. It is what it is, people. I also want to thank Nadine for this sign. This cool little sign. She has these actually for sale. It's perfect. It's nice and light. Awesome Kingston sign. Kingston Upstate original sign.
I kind of want to just pat myself on the back here for lining up the camera right now and like literally, can you see it on there?
Yeah.
The perfect lineup right there with the
Kenny.
with the sign.
Kenny, by the way, we should just shit on Kenny this entire show.
He's probably down there watching.
we should just just talk crap. Just yeah. So by the way, Kenny, just in case you're watching or listening, Jake has already taken. He's basically just called you out and said he's better than you.
All I said was I lined up the cameras to make the Kingston sign
Mm-hmm.
straight in line.
Mm-hmm. Look,
Right there.
look, you're perfect. Abby would say the prince does no wrong in the house.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So let's jump into this school. Let's jump into athletics, some school athletics. They had the big board vote. They voted, it was like 7-2, to have school sports, the higher risk, the fall sports. I think spring sports will be fine. I'm not 100% sure. I did hear that was part of the spring vote. I mean, I'm hoping it was part of the spring vote. There is no reason not to have spring sports if you're going to have football and fall sports. And I don't know if anybody can comment. Let me just open the comment box here because. What's the deal with everything else? Right? So if we can have school sports, what about drama club? Right? What about band? What about orchestra?
Well, what are they going to
What about chess club? What about all these other clubs that
Well, drama club can't perform in front of anyone.
No, but they can still practice. They can still have a club. They can still do what they need to do. They can still, I mean, if we look, and I'm all for the sports, trust me, but if we could play football, we can have drama club. If we could play this, we can have band. If we can play football, we can have all these other clubs. And all these other clubs, the vote included fall and spring sports. Thank you, Andrea. Good.
Do you guys normally pin comments
Yeah.
from the chat?
Yeah. It's got to be good, though.
Yeah. Because Chase and I normally pin like everyone. We just talk about
Well,
it.
it's not going to be everyone.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering. I didn't know if you did that at all.
No, we pin comments. If somebody has a good comment, pin it. Start pinning things. Take control. Step up. Yeah, I think. I mean, who's fighting for them? Are there? I know the people. Listen. Sports parents are ruthless and relentless, right? They will fight up and down for their kid. If you've ever been to a travel sports tournament or a high school game or a JV game or a modified game. I mean, sports parents are crazy, right? I think the drama club parent and the band parent's a little bit different, because I never heard a drama club parent yell at the how do they call it, the director, producer.
What is it?
I don't know, but I've never heard a band parent just start screaming at the conductor. You go to a game. Whatever they are.
Wait. Oh, you're talking about band kids.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You go to a game, parents are screaming at the umpire, they're screaming at coaches, they're screaming at the other coaches, they're screaming at players,
Which
they're
is
screaming
weird.
at kids.
It's worse when their kids are younger, though. There's more screaming from the parents when they're younger.
Oh
than
yeah,
when
so
they're
like
older.
so now when we go to a tournament and there's the big field, and then you have the little field, right?
Well, there's normally more people at the little field games too.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
because
no
a lot
one
of the games
cares
you're
as you
going,
get older.
yeah, like kids are driving to your games. Right? There's not many parents there.
Well, or their one parent will bring them because they just don't even like.
Yeah, when they're little, I mean, we were at out in Long Island one time, and over on the small field, the umpire stopped the game and threw the entire fan section of one team out. They were that bad. He stopped the game and said, "We're not going to start until till every parent is out of here." And they had to go. They had to go like way out in the outfield behind the fence. Like they couldn't even be around. Yeah, they were that bad. Like some of the things that are screamed by, and then we wonder why kids sometimes behave the way they do. Because if you go to these events and you watch parents screaming like knuckleheads, and they're the same parents that are just complaining every day on Facebook, constantly whining and crying about woe is me. They're yelling that their kid's not getting the playing time. They're screaming at the umpires against them. It's like it's just enough. And then we sit here and we wonder why sometimes certain kids act the way they do. But who's fighting for some of these other programs? Right? Because if you're going to tell me that the communication aspect of it and the team building and being around other kids and all that for sports, I think it can go the same way. I think it goes the other way also. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got? I don't have a list, so.
That's true. The bad parents get weeded out, so to speak, Anna, as the kids get older. That's right. I said that a million times too. Once some of these kids hit the big field, they go away because they can't. The big field the big field and wood bat is the great equalizer. Right? Some of those kids that used to hit a ton of home runs that were kind of like wall scrapers or fly ball outs once they get older. And then you hit the wood bat, and then it's a totally different game. Totally different game.
I don't know. I can't read your handwriting.
Sucks.
Your hand. Well, what happened with your notebook? Didn't you like?
I left it at home, and then I had to have Amy snap a picture and send it to me, the list of stuff that I wanted to talk about. So she did that, but then I tried to write it down real quick, and it looks like a doctor's handwriting, except I don't make the money of a doctor.
You do have doctor's handwriting, though.
Doctor's handwriting. That's all I got. That's all I got from that, because I don't have the brains. But I'm just curious. I mean, I'd like to know what other school events are just not being done that can also be done being social distanced, right? Like I know we want to get everybody back in school, and that's understandable. Some people want everybody back in school before you do anything. But I think you need to be able to multitask, right? I think you need to be able to do other things. I mean, it's a logistics problem to have everybody back in school at one time. So, and sometimes kids pin that, Jake. Very true. Very true, Dean. Extremely true. Unfortunate, but true. I don't know. We should just cancel everything. That's what we should do. We should just cancel everything. School, just everybody, everything's going to get canceled. People, we're already canceling people.
Canceling books.
That's right. By the way, I get the whole Dr. Seuss thing, and some people were mad. But there was people on there commenting about Dr. Seuss for over a week. If you're commenting on Dr. Seuss being a couple books being taken off the shelf for over a week, I think you need to find a hobby or something, right? And then we went to Pepe Le Pew. They canceled Pepe Le Pew. I mean, we're canceling a cartoon skunk from 30 years ago. I don't even know. Can you even find that show anywhere? Have you ever seen Pepe Le Pew? Have you ever seen a Pepe Le Pew cartoon?
No, not by himself.
I used to watch Pepe Le Pew when I was a kid. I also knew, though, because of parenting, that maybe that was not appropriate behavior. It was so over the top, too, that I think the message, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to get into Pepe Le Pew. Canceling Pepe Le Pew. Parents, I was on Twitter, and parents are screaming about Pepe Le Pew. Like, why don't you, instead of canceling it, why don't you use that as a teaching moment? Right? Yeah, look, don't behave like this. If a woman doesn't want you to wrap your arms around her and kiss her, like, acknowledge that. Show them that. We need to take some of these examples and just use it as a good parenting tool. Now, Kenny, speaking of parenting tool, Kenny and I last week, and there was some back and forth on here about, and Kenny and I were firing texts back and forth. Never saw Pepe Le Pew rape anyone. He was just a very aggressive and persistent admirer. He was persistent. That's for sure. Kenny was on me, boy, about not going back and getting anything if my kids forget something for sports. And I have here with me now somebody who can attest to the facts. Jake.
What are the facts?
The facts are,
That I have to attest to.
if we leave the house and you forget something for baseball, sports, whatever it is, piece of equipment, do we go back and get it?
Depends on how far down the road we are.
Right? Like, when you say the road, we're talking like the driveway, basically, Dunham Avenue.
Once we get off Lucas, I say we're not going back.
Which is basically down the street.
Yeah.
I am never going back to the house and getting something that my kids forgot, especially with sports, because that's not my responsibility. And this goes back to the whole picture that Kenny put up about the coach saying, don't text me or ask me about the schedule. That's your kid's problem. Let them miss practice and they'll understand. My whole theory in life since I had kids and have been to a million sporting events is carry your own bag. If any of you have young kids out there, if they're playing t-ball, if they're playing coach pitch minor league, I would beg you not to carry their bag. Because it's responsibility. It shows them responsibility. And if they forget something, because for whatever reason, don't go back and get it. Because they'll probably never forget it again. Jake forgot his cup one time. He was going to catch. Amy wasn't going to get him another cup. He actually used somebody else's. Right? Was mom going to Dick's to buy you a cup because you forgot it? Did you ever forget anything again?
Well, I didn't forget my cup again.
You didn't forget your cup again. And I can tell you right now, I don't ever recall you ever forgetting anything ever again.
I forgot my belt.
Forgot your belt. But you could play without a belt.
But now I keep my belt in my bag. I keep an extra belt in my bag all the time because I forgot it that one
Yeah.
time.
There you go. Problem solved. Stop doing so much shit for your kids when it's not necessary. It's just not necessary. Not necessary. Look, man, listen, it never happened again. Be responsible. I can give you a million examples. Tournaments, parents come into the dugout to pack their kids' shit up, pack all their catcher's equipment up, put it in their bag for them. Meanwhile, the kid's running around acting like a knucklehead. That kid, those kids always forget something. Their hat, their glove. They're the repeat offenders because mom and dad, forgot cleats, going to run all the way home and get cleats. Forgot this, going to keep Then you wonder why, and they're like, oh, he always forgets stuff. She always forgets stuff. Yeah, well, why do you think they forget stuff? You're not playing. You had a kid one of the kids forgot their glove. Well, don't know what to tell you. You were starting, now you're not. Forgot my hat. Oh, I forgot my hat. Coach, I forgot my hat. How do you forget your hat going to a baseball game?
How do you figure your glove?
How do you forget your glove?
You can forget your bat because you can choose someone else's bat.
Oh, Andrew, I know Mike's ass wasn't happy. The only game I ever missed during my 9 years of playing football is because I forgot my jersey once. I was like 11. Never forgot it again. That's right. Because I'm sure your dad was like, I'm not, that's it. I mean, it's insane. Parents running around because your kid constantly.
I'm so like paranoid. Like every time I'm like packing my bag or something, like to go to like a baseball game or something, like I check my bag to make sure my glove is in like at least 5 times.
Yeah.
I make sure my batting gloves are in there at least 5 times. I check to make sure I have the extra belt and the extra pair of pants in my bag at least 5 times. Because it'd suck if I forgot it, especially like at like Diamond Nation or something, where if there's like a college scout and I'm not wearing a belt, that would suck.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, when you get out of your, well, we'll talk about that in a second, but yeah, you can't keep doing this because now you'll have kids, I'm telling you, 14, 15 years old, 16 years old, and they don't have stuff. I don't understand. And I remember going to a girls' tournament up in the Dome, up in Glens Falls or the Adirondack area. There's a girl from another team, and it's a little chilly in the morning, and she's walking like this with her Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate, I assume, and she's like walking. Mom's carrying 2 folding chairs, a cooler, and the girl's bat bag. And I pointed out to my daughter, I go, that's crazy. I will never do that. Never, ever do that. And I go, as a matter of fact, I would keep an eye on her and just watch and see how that dynamic plays out.
Now that I think about it, I actually bring 2 gloves.
Yeah.
So in case I forget the one, I got
you do bring 2 gloves.
I have
That's
the one
crazy.
on my bat, and then I have the one in my bag.
Yeah. By the way, on the 2 bats that you have, right? Because you're prepared. You have to be prepared. But going back, I remember actually playing them, and that girl was like whining and crying and yelling at. It's not coincidence. It is absolutely not coincidence. If you ever go to a Little League field or a travel field or anything like that, you'll see mom carrying 3 chairs, a cooler. They got little brother or sister holding one hand. They got the bat bag over here, and they're kind of fumbling around, and they're yelling at their kid because little Johnny or little Sally is throwing rocks in a puddle that's in the parking lot. Always carry your bag. Everything in life can go back to carry your bag almost. I bet you all the people that just complain day in and day out on Facebook, mom carried their bag. I'm telling you, I don't know. Back in the day, though, the parents didn't give a shit. They didn't even go watch their kids play Little League. I mean, just constant. And then those same parents are the ones who are just yelling at kids, yelling at the umpire, yelling at coaches, yelling at everybody else, blaming the umpire they're not calling strikes or they're calling too many strikes, blaming the coach because they're not putting the kid here, blaming the other kid because our kid missed the ball, and this. I'm telling you, if you had a crystal ball, these are all the same people who are just raging like I am right now, that are just raging on Facebook and social media, constantly running around blaming everybody else. These are the people that sit at the field and just complain about their lives, and they wonder why they're not where they are. Meanwhile, they're spending all their time just complaining about everybody else and what they have and what they don't have. right? They say the haves and the haves not, the have and the have nots, and the income gap and all these different things. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I understand. There's a ton of reasons for that. But I think a lot of valid reasons are you can just really look in the mirror. Right? Please don't blow me up and say, well, there's this, that. I understand there's some circumstances that are out of your control. Right? But at the end of the day, people who are looking for opportunity are seeking those opportunities and are open to the opportunity. They're the ones that are taking those opportunities while you're too busy complaining about them and crying about everything else.
All because they didn't carry their bag.
You don't see those same people on Facebook complaining. They're out there scapping up those opportunities that you're too busy crying about. I mean, there's still people just spamming and commenting on everything about Donald Trump. Every single time something's posted, they're talking about Donald Trump. Look, if you're still posting about how much you hate Donald Trump or how much you love Donald Trump, that dude is taking up way too much real estate in your mind. Get off it already. Free yourself from him. Participation trophies. Every time one of my kids gets a participation trophy, I want to snap it in half in the parking lot like the beginning of Karate Kid Part 2.
What did he say?
You're a loser.
Oh, yeah.
You're a loser. I got second place, man. You're a loser. Look, everybody's not a victim. And what you're doing is when everybody's a victim of something, you're kind of just watering down or kind of, I don't know the right word, but it's really hurting the people that are actual victims of things. Do you agree with that, Jake?
With that, you're feeling so much of a victim
You
that
weren't-
the
you
people
weren't
that are real victims.
You're like
they're not.
everybody that's out here right now. You're not listening.
No, I'm listening. It's hard to. Oh, what the?
Boy. Technical difficulties.
Saying it's hard
Right
to
over
follow
there?
you sometimes because you're just like.
I'm all over the place. You
Yeah.
got to be sharp with the mind.
We went from forgetting stuff to carrying your bag to people who fail in life complain about everything. And then people aren't actually victims. That's what I got out of that.
All right. But the point is that it's a carry your own bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's carry your own bag. I mean, the PGA pulled out of the PGA championship at Trump's golf course, right? So the PGA had this big announcement. Whenever they're not going to have the PGA championship at his golf course. Fine, but I think what people, and this is, let me reboot here. You like sports, right, Jake? You love sports. Like watching sports? Right? You watch college baseball. We watch college baseball. We watch football, college football, basketball, NBA, college. Would you ever kneel for the national anthem?
No.
No.
Probably not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
But there's some people that do. Are you then gonna just never watch sports again because other people knelt for the national anthem?
No.
No, right? Because you're not going to deprive yourself of something that makes you happy. Now I know there's things to boycott, but I never understood these mass boycotts and boycotting things. If it's something that makes you happy, I mean, when have you ever tuned in to watch the national anthem and then didn't watch the game? Right? When have you ever tuned in to watch an owner own? You don't tune in to watch owners own. You tune in to watch players play. So I never understood this, this boycott or this banning. Like, if it makes you happy, just watch the game. So they took away the 2022 PGA Championship at one of Trump's golf courses. I think it was in Bedminster, New Jersey. And what I think people need to realize is that doesn't hurt Trump. And this goes back to sports because it's golf, right? That really doesn't hurt Donald Trump. You're trying to hurt Donald Trump. And this isn't even about Trump. Who you're hurting is everybody around it. You're hurting that local economy. You're hurting the hotels, the restaurants, everything that goes with it.
Well, was there going to be a lot of people? Anyways,
I mean, they probably would have had limited attendance. But let's just say there was no COVID. They would have canceled it anyway if there was no COVID. They would have moved it anyway.
yeah. Well, either way, it's still some business that some people around the golf course probably would need or appreciate.
A tremendous amount of business.
But Trump not having them not having the tour at his golf course is not going to impact him in any way.
No, it's not affecting him at all. All
It's
you're
not
doing
like
is
he
you're
needs
hurting.
that.
Yeah,
He
you're
doesn't
hurting.
even need the golf course. Honest, like, what does he need that? Like, he doesn't need any of it for. Like,
No.
he doesn't need any of it.
No, so now you have vendors, right? People that put up the tents, those companies. You have restaurants in the area. People going and stay for the weekend, the hotels. I mean, it's just you end up hurting the people. There's a blast radius, right? You end up hurting those people. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, yeah, and then you can argue, well, now they're going to have it, in another place, and in that little area we'll get an economic boom. But those people have changed their lives and have started planning on it. Even though it's next year, they've started planning on that already. Number to call in if you want to call in, 845-366-2095. 845-366-2095.
Put in the chat. I can't do it on here. And I don't know how to get to, because Kenny normally puts it up on here. I don't know how to get to that, to the word or whatever he has up on
Yeah, I
there.
don't know either.
I don't have a Mac, so
And if you go through there, you might have a topless picture of himself or something before and after he's trying to do too.
well, if I could probably find it, but like I don't know if I'll be able to get back to this image.
Yeah.
If I found his Word, Microsoft Word, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
He does.
I don't know, man. We've lost our minds.
I might find some lawsuit files that I don't know if you want broadcasted on.
On Facebook Live. Facebook Live. I mean, the constant bickering and complaining. Do you know the progress that we have made? You know how much progress you make doing that?
Doing
0.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know doing what. I don't know what you're talking about for a second.
Just all the complaining. Let me ask people: Do you want progress or do you want emotion?
Well, it does do something. It cancels someone, but what does canceling them really do?
Nothing. But you don't make any progress, really.
Because you're not really talking about the situation. You're just ignoring it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we're digging things up from 30 years ago.
By the way, that 90% of people had no idea about before you even brought it up.
Yeah, like if you don't like it, don't watch it. Like if you don't like Pepe Le Pew, don't watch Pepe Le Pew. If
I
you
had
don't
no
like,
idea about Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
I've seen the cartoon character before. I don't know what.
Yeah, people that don't watch something are so outraged by it. Well, you don't like it. You don't watch it because you don't like it. Right? There's a show. It was a show back in the day, Opie and Anthony on the radio. Shock jocks.
And by the way, why would you even need to cancel him? Is he even on Cartoon Network or Boomerang or any of those networks anymore?
No, I haven't seen Pepe Le Pew.
You can find him on a YouTube search if you're specifically searching for him. And even if he's canceled, you can still
You're
find
gonna
him
find
on
Pepe
that
Le Pew.
YouTube search.
Yeah. I just don't get it. There was the show Opie and Anthony did an interview with Paris Hilton, and when she went in there, they give you the publicist gives you a list of things you can't talk about, right? So she had some things in her past, and they were like, you can't talk about this, and that's all the exciting stuff, right? So she wanted to talk about her show, The Simple Life, which was actually off the air, I think, at that time, by the way. Anyway, and they were trying to like ask her a bunch of questions, and they started to get into all those different things, and the interview resurfaced recently, and a bunch of people were then tweeting, we need to find out Opie, we need to find out who they are, we need to get them taken off the air, we need to do. First of all, the interview was 10 years ago. That show was canceled 7 years ago. Right? So people are trying to cancel shows that don't even exist anymore. Like, that's the lunacy that we're at. So do you want the emotion or do you want progress? I heard somebody say this. This isn't mine. I ain't not this smart. Right? If you want the emotion, just sit there and complain and woe is me and put out your problems on there and people will give you pity and feel sorry for you? Right? If you want the emotion, complain about it how you're a victim. Or do you want progress? You can't have both. Can't have both. Randy doesn't like the Giants. Cancel them. Yeah? Well, you're a Cowboys fan. Haven't won anything in, what, 2-3 decades? I know your boy Dak got some money. Got like 30-some million, the franchise tag. Can you believe Dak Prescott got like $30 million? What are you doing over there?
I got really bad calluses
From what?
from hitting
All
and
right.
lifting. And
How old are you?
16,
Just checking.
I think.
Just checking.
RDJ and Tropic Thunder. Yeah, it was a movie, right? Like playing
Yeah.
a character. You don't cancel someone for saying the N-word in a
Well, it
movie.
depends on who.
about-
Yeah. Well, it depends on who you want to cancel, right? So, we have taken this stand of actors and comedians, and it depends on which one you like and which one you don't like, right? So, we want to cancel comedians because we think that's how they really feel, or that's what they really are. Right? Like a comedian makes a joke, and whatever the joke is, could be about anything. And look, you can cross a line. Don't get me wrong. But we want to like cancel somebody because they made a dirty joke, right? A dirty female joke, or this joke, or that joke. And I was watching this with a comedian, Jim Norton, was sitting had a woman, and she was saying, why is my body the butt of a lot of you gross comedians' jokes? And his comeback is look, we're comedians. Or do you hold actors up to the same standard? And his example was that lady had an actor as her Facebook profile page, and that actor was in a movie where he carried out like a sexual assault on a victim in a movie because they were acting. I don't know if it was a true story.
Yeah, because when comedians go out, they're playing a character. Like they don't actually think that stuff.
So his point was, why do you have
In some cases, they don't actually think that's like it depends on what they're talking about, but
yeah, so why do you have that guy as your profile picture? Why is he not held up to the same standard?
because they don't believe that that's how he actually is.
Because he's an actor, right? It's like when people criticize athletes for making a lot of money.
Were people trying to cancel Jimmy Fallon too on SNL?
Yes, because 15 years ago he did a skit where he was.
But he didn't write the skit.
No, and nobody had a problem with it. Then he was playing. He was an African American character in a skit, and he was in all black, so he had black makeup all over him. So it wasn't like the traditional racist, really bad blackface where it's like you just put
Like
right,
the one governor.
Yeah, like that was bad. Like that's terrible. Like that's
pretty bad.
right. So he was playing a black character, and they want to dig it up. The same thing with Jimmy Kimmel playing Karl Malone. They want to dig things up from so many years ago. I think we just need to kind of just relax, right? Because now when there is something truly offensive, or when people are suffering actual racism, and a lot of these different issues, it's like watered down. Andrea says, my question is, how is Jake so calm all the time with you ranting and raving?
I'm just used to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Doesn't faze me.
Next question. Which brings me to Coming to America.
I didn't watch it, so I'm not even going to say one word on this. I'm just going to put the camera on you the entire time.
So I was scared to watch Coming to
I'm
America.
going to mute my mic.
Yeah. I was scared to watch Coming to America. And Amy asked me why, and I said because I'm scared it's just going to ruin the first one for me. And let me tell you what. For a lack of a better term, that was the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And it pains me to say it. It was so bad.
Because we both know that what's it called? Coming to America, like the first one's one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, if it's on, I just stop what I'm doing. I'm chopping lettuce. I'm stopping. The lettuce is gonna wait.
Even though it's on all the time, it's just automatic.
Yeah.
On.
There's nothing better when you catch a movie that's on like TV for some reason. You'll sit and watch it with commercials when you can just simply stream it.
Even though I could stream it, like I wouldn't stream it, but if I see it on TV, then like I'll turn it on.
Yeah.
Like if The Dark Knight is on, I wouldn't just go to my room and watch The Dark Knight on Netflix. But if it's on TV, I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah. And you'll watch the commercials. It's very weird behavior. When you can stream anything you want, basically at this point.
Same thing with like Star Wars movie. Like I'll just, if it's on TV, I'll put it on. But I wouldn't go to my room and just like right now, I wouldn't just go to my room and watch Star Wars movie. But if it was on TV, I'd put it on.
Yeah.
That's the same with a lot of movies. Like it's just.
I can tell you what's not coming on the TV ever again.
Coming
to America. Not happening. I can't get over. I knew it was probably going to be bad, and I saw some people online say it was bad. I wasn't expecting that train wreck. I actually sat halfway through. I thought I was watching it for 3 hours. I can't even believe I sat and waited through the whole thing. I was hoping for some sort of redeeming quality in that movie. There just wasn't. It was so bad. I didn't laugh one time. I think I mustered up
51% Rotten Tomatoes.
Generous.
Let's see what the original one got.
That was a movie.
Why
That was just a complete money grab. They didn't even put any effort into it. The actors didn't put any effort into it. Eddie Murphy was terrible. Other than when he was doing the barbershop characters. And I understand Kurt, it's extremely rare for a sequel to live up to the expectations.
Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back is probably the best
The
sequel.
greatest sequel of all time.
That and Godfather 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to the Future 2. I'll put Back to the Future up there as a great
High School
sequel.
Musical 2.
High School Musical 2. Troy Bolton.
By the way, the original Coming to America only has 20% higher on Rotten Tomatoes.
What is it?
The original Coming to America.
It's 20% higher?
It's 71%.
Wow, racist probably people voting.
Okay.
Coming to America the first one's a great movie. Hysterical. Coming to America?
Rotten Tomatoes is very out of touch with people.
I was just angry at how bad the movie was. It could have been so much better. Yeah, I understand you recycle some old jokes and whatever, some old characters you bring back.
How did I forget this? The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight was a good sequel.
That's a really
There's
good
a lot
sequel.
of good sequels. Listen, if you want to actually make a good sequel and write a good sequel, you can. If you're just writing a sequel just to make money because of the popularity of the first movie, I mean, I know that's why you're writing sequels anyway, but if you're doing it just quick to put it together, the actors aren't really into it, there really was no need for a sequel, right? Like, because it's not like Coming to America was a series. You know what I mean? Like, where they left you with a cliffhanger at the end. Like, the movie was terrible. God. Whoever wrote that movie, that movie didn't carry their bag. That's
Greatest
for sure.
sequels of all time. Top on this list right here. It's not in order or anything, but The Dark Knight, Spider-Man 2. I forgot.
Hold on, are you going from one?
No, this is just a random list that I found. Like it's not in any order. Oh God, I'm on Rotten Tomatoes website. I'm getting off of that. This is gonna be messed up. The number one movie on Rotten Tomatoes of all time, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the greatest movie of all time is Black Panther.
I've never seen it.
I've seen it twice. It's a pretty good movie. Like I liked it, but it's not the
I've never
greatest
seen it.
movie of all time.
I'm not into those. I don't think I've watched one Marvel movie. It's just not my type of movie.
Well, you just haven't watched MCU movies. You've watched.
There's a new Mortal Kombat coming out. That's the other thing. There's no originality
In Avengers movies?
in Hollywood. Everything it's mostly remakes. It's remakes and Avenger and comic book movies. I think it's because they're scared. I think Hollywood is scared to try to make a movie because they don't want to offend somebody with a scene in a movie. Maybe that's it.
Well, we got on this list Christmas Vacation 14.
Yeah, that was a sequel.
Star Trek 2 at 12. Terminator 2 at 11.
Is Caddyshack 2 on there?
Toy Story 3. Why is that? That's not a
Caddyshack
sequel.
2. Caddyshack 2. And Coming to America
sequel?
2. The worst. The two worst sequels in the history of the world.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Yeah, that's a pretty good movie.
I've never seen it.
The Dark Knight at 6.
This is, I can tell you right now, this reminds me of Mike and the Mad Dog. And Mike Francesa was trying to explain the movie with the blind superhero.
What?
So what's the blind superhero? Ben Affleck played him?
Oh, Green Lantern?
No,
that's not
Green Lantern's not blind.
Wait, no, that's not Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern.
Oh, who was the? What's the movie with the blind superhero?
I don't know. Avengers Endgame at 5. How they putting Avengers Endgame above
Daredevil. Is it Daredevil?
The Dark Knight?
Francesa is explaining this movie to Chris Russo, and he's like,
Daredevil?
yeah, and
I thought of Daredevil in my mind, but I
Yeah.
don't know Daredevil. Like I swear I
Daredevil.
thought of Daredevil in my mind, but I just don't know who Daredevil is. I don't know he's blind.
yeah, he's a blind superhero. So Francesa's like, yeah, and he's a blind superhero, and Russo goes, true story. Like, ask if a blind superhero movie is a true story. What? Oh, I'm glad those guys are off the air. Actually, Chris Russo is pretty good. I like Russo. Francesa, brutal. Brutal.
Grease 2 is on
Grease
this
2.
list.
Terrible. Come in here. Huh? Come here. Lean in here real quick.
Hello?
If you forget something for sports, do we go back and get it?
No.
When was the last time you carried your own bag?
Like last time I haven't? Because that's never happened.
There you go. There you go.
What?
Nothing. I was talking about carrying your bag before.
Oh, it's like, what?
So, yeah.
When did you get here? Oh.
Like, we celebrate mediocrity anymore. I don't understand. We just want to be mediocre. I think most people, and look, it's fine. Look, if you're happy, that's fine. But I think we just celebrate mediocrity too much. The Knicks are, what's the Knicks record? Do you know the Knicks record?
I can pull it up right now.
I think they're one game above 500. The Knicks are one game above 500, and I saw a video of when they got to 500, people are dancing in the streets
Yeah,
celebrating.
they're 19 and 18.
But by the way, which is an accomplishment for them, I get it. But when you're dancing in the street at
Third
five
in the
because you're
division.
500, but you're 500. We celebrate mediocrity too much in this country, people. Enough's enough.
Well, they haven't been this excited since Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
When Carmelo was in like his prime.
Was that his prime? Maybe it was.
He was.
Maybe
in
it
his
was.
prime.
Maybe it was.
He was
I
in
mean,
his, he was in his prime with the Knicks, right? He wasn't with the Nuggets for that long.
I don't know how long he was at the Nuggets.
He was at the
came to
Nuggets
New
for
York-
a good amount of time, but like he was definitely.
Yeah, and they went to the play and Carmelo. Yeah, and they got to the playoffs.
They got to the playoffs with Carmelo like once, maybe twice.
A couple
I don't
times,
even know.
Maybe twice. Maybe twice. Celebrating mediocrity harkens back to participation trophies. I wish Kenny was here. Because the last conversation we had,
He is here, technically.
he's on board with participation trophies. You like participation trophies, Ed? Come here and say that. Come here. Come on a hop. Let's go.
I'm the director now. Okay. I'm against them. Well, like, if you're, like, really, really, really young, then, like, you know, you're just starting out or whatever. But, like, once you get to, like, that age, you know what I mean? When stuff starts to get a little bit competitive or, like, even a little below that, it's just, I'm not for it because of the fact that it just teaches kids that they can goof off and stuff and not try and like get just as much as an accomplishment award as like someone who does try.
That's right. It's a false sense of accomplishment, right?
It makes people think, and then that leads to people thinking they're easy.
Speaking the truth. Abby only speaks the truth.
Abby knows all.
You can coast through life, but still
Two
be
types
at
of
that
people in this
mediocre
world,
line.
people who work hard and people who
Participation trophies. Participation
Say that again?
trophies.
two types of people in this world, people who want stuff.
Two types of people in this
Or people
world.
who don't want it.
People who want stuff, but then the people who work hard to get it. Right? Work smarter and harder. See, people say work smarter, not harder. Like, no, work smarter and harder. Abby says no to that.
It depends what for. It depends what for.
And with the Knicks, look, I'm not gonna mess with you, Ange, because they are one game above 500, and that hasn't happened in a hell of a long time. Enjoy it, Knicks fans at the All-Star break. Enjoy it.
They might make the playoffs.
Yeah,
know.
that'll be a good accomplishment for them. I wouldn't be dancing in the streets, but I acknowledge that's a good job. Tom Thibodeau was a good hire. They should have hired him 5 years ago. They just have maybe now they'll get. This is a good thing because maybe now they'll get free agents. Maybe some free agents will come and sign with the Knicks.
But what are they gonna do now? They can't tank. They're just gonna be like.
Oh, that's gonna kill people in New York.
they're not
Again,
gonna get a good
negative.
draft
Again,
pick.
negativity. Right? Rooting to lose. Rooting to tank to lose to get draft picks. Yeah. What are you gonna do? You got to actually root to win. But it feels good to root to win. Right? To finally root for a team to win instead of rooting for them to lose, so you can screw up your draft, set your team back.
Yeah, but now if they don't make the playoffs, then they won't make the playoffs and they won't get a good draft pick. So now they're.
Could you imagine they missed the playoffs by like one game?
That would
They
be,
get one ball in the for the lottery. One little ball gets dropped in for them.
but then that one time that they just have like the least amount of balls is when like they'll just get like the second overall pick.
Yeah, because there's been years where they've had
the most.
Christ,
by
they
a
had
lot.
they had every ball in there and still didn't get picked. Baby steps. What's my favorite Star Wars movie?
Yours is Return of the Jedi.
I'm a Return of the Jedi fan because I was a kid and the Ewoks, and everybody hates the Ewoks, but I was a little kid and I liked the song at the end, and which the yub, that song. Why did George Lucas change that? Why did he
Well-
go back and change shit? Why did he go back
Because the
and
new
change stuff?
the new song is kind of more like a celebratory tone. Like
Why?
we finally come to peace. But
I'm now I'm angry. I'm
the
mad.
increased like what's it called, CGI in them are really bad though, because like he didn't have
They're terrible.
he didn't have the technology when he went back and did them to make the CGI actually look good. Like the one song that they added in Jabba's palace with like the one alien girl like the
Yes, it's
that
awful.
song is so, I don't know why you would ever do that.
because
That
you have
might be the worst thing ever added in a movie.
yeah because you have puppets that they had in the old movie, and then you have this CGI character coming through that's not even moving good. It's like it is
What-
so. There's certain scenes in that movie where they just added shit walking around for no reason. It was everything
Well-
was CGI. It was like too much. Too
One
much.
of the good things, that the good CGI things they did was when they went back in the Phantom Menace and fixed the awful puppet Yoda they had in the Phantom Menace. Like he looked. Here, let me look. I gotta show you.
I just don't understand why George Lucas went back and just added stupid shit that didn't even fit. And by the way, some of the scenes in what's the movie? What were some of the? What was the last one where he cuts?
This was the original Puppet Yoda in the Phantom Menace, and
Oh my God.
He went back and changed that and made the CGI better. Like changed it back to like the CGI one. It's so bad. I don't know.
This dude looks like an old alcoholic Yoda.
Here, let me see.
God. How do you put that on the screen? How would you, as George Lucas, even?
Well, this was the original one.
Showing the people.
That was the original one. And then this is what he went back and changed it to the CGI one, which this is one of the only things that I like that he went back and changed the CGI for.
Yeah.
So it went from that back to that. So
Yeah.
that's a lot better. Everything else though, but the Puppet Yoda in the original, I'm glad he didn't change the Puppet Yoda in the original sequels though. I mean not the sequels, the original movies. Which is
Just
this
stop
one.
messing with shit. Just stop touching. Just stop. Like there was no need for it. Like to change that song at the end was dumb. To add all that other stuff was dumb.
Well, it was just a money grab to do all that stuff. There's no way he actually went back and looked at this stuff and was like, "Yeah, this is good."
Yeah, perfect.
He just was like,
Tip top.
he just saw dollar signs.
Yeah, billions actually. Just terrible. It's nonsense. It was nonsensical to have puppets in with all these other things. Just like even in the backgrounds, like you know, they're in the cruiser going through with the one town, and you know, he just added stupid like things flying and
Or
CGI.
when he added the one scene in A New Hope with Jabba outside of in Tatooine, remember
Yeah.
that? And like he's like, like when he steps over Jabba,
Yeah,
when he steps
yeah.
over Jabba, it's like,
Yeah, you might as well just put a set of stairs there.
I don't know why.
Completely brutal.
And then after he did all this CGI stuff, probably like 5, maybe like 10 years later, he sold it to Disney.
Yeah, the song at the end of Return of the Jedi. I used to love that song.
Yep.
Yub. Love that song. And then it's like he's drumming on the heads
Yeah.
of the
Well,
helmets.
also they also did a good job of the original Emperor in The Empire Strikes Back was pretty bad too, and they went back and changed that.
Yeah.
That was also a good thing, but everything else, not a fan of.
Some of the movies, like, what's the one where they cut? What's the name of the one where they cut? At the end, he cuts Hayden Christensen's legs off, and he becomes Darth Vader.
Mhm.
What's the name? What movie is that?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. That there's parts of that movie that actually look like a made-for-TV sci-fi movie.
Well,
Like
people,
that was supposed to be state of the art. I've seen shit on the Sci-Fi Channel that looked better than that.
well,
that was
people now say that
awful.
that's the best Star Wars movie of all time. People now think that the Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie of all time.
Look, if we're talking about
It's
part
not
of-
even close. It's Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes
but-
Back is by far the best one. I mean, if we're real, I mean, I like the other one. I like the Return of the Jedi just because it's like nostalgic for me, right? But honestly, Empire Strikes Back is the best.
Empire Strikes Back is my favorite.
He CGI'd everything. I wish it would have CGI'd me out of the movie theater during some of those. Holy cow, they were bad. If we're talking
He
about
made a lot of money though.
oh, I made a shit ton of money. If we're talking about like what was the one, Rogue One? Rogue One.
Rogue One was probably the best Disney Star Wars movie.
Rogue One. Yes, I agree with that. Rogue One was the best Star Wars. The best.
It's not the best. It's not the best
the best Disney Star Wars.
Disney Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's not the best Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Best Disney Star Wars is The Mandalorian. Best Disney Star Wars is The Mandalorian.
Oh, The Mandalorian is the best. There's no question. We started late, so we just went a little late.
I haven't watched.
Did you read the book?
No, not yet. But I haven't.
Because you're reading 6 books at one time right now.
No, I'm not. I'm actually reading.
Yeah. I think.
I have my Star Wars movies ranked on here, along with everything else.
All right, run them down real quick.
Well, I was
Darth
saving
Maul.
this for mine.
Darth Maul was the
I
best
guess.
Sith Lord. Because he doesn't talk much. Yeah.
Well, he died, but then came back to life.
Who?
Darth Maul.
Oh.
In the Clone Wars, like the animated show, he survives being cut in half.
Really?
Yeah. Darth Maul was actually alive during Darth Vader.
what's your top 10? Almost just choked. Abby's
I
over
was
there
saying
dying.
that I was
Abby's
saying
over there
that.
dying because I was like, I almost.
I was saying that for my podcast, but yeah, Darth Vader's the best. Darth Vader is the best villain of all time, so he has to be the best Sith of all time.
Yes, Dart. I was gonna say, Andrea, damn, you really love Star Wars. She said those are all from Casey. I was like, holy shit, Andrea, coming in strong, coming in hot with Star Wars.
I know we got Luke enter Return of the Jedi as a badass. We got
I need to rewatch.
Jabba's palace scene was the worst. That's true. With the singing thing, that was so bad.
Andrew, you should have just kept going. That was you commenting because that was better. It was better thinking that it was you. Now that I know it's not. Disappointed.
Yeah, Mandalorian on Disney is actually Jon Favreau, not George Lucas.
Yeah.
It's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, but mostly Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau's taking over.
Jon Favreau.
Gotta watch Swings.
Jon Favreau has entered the elite of directors now from The Mandalorian. I mean, he has Elf. He's involved heavily in the MCU, which is Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. You got The Mandalorian, which is basically single-handedly saving Star Wars ever since Disney bought it. Because everyone hates the sequels. I'm not a sequel hater myself, but
Yes, question.
they're definitely not that good.
What do you want to say? Come here. You gotta come here, real quick. Come on.
Oh, NBA Top Shop. I forgot. NBA Top Shot.
Hold on a second.
I forgot to mention that.
Happy International Women's Day. So you say that.
Yeah, Rogue One was great on how it tied into Episode 4. It literally picks up right from the moment,
Oh yes,
like right away.
that was the best thing they could have did.
And you know, like when Darth Vader like goes into the hallway and like blocks all like the rebel shooters. That was like a last minute addition to the movie, like right before they had.
And by the way, yeah,
it was the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, he goes through that guns blazing. Like he goes through there like a lunatic.
Yeah. They added that last minute and ended up being like one of the greatest.
That was the best
Star
part
Wars
of the whole
scenes-
movie.
one of the greatest Star Wars scenes of all time.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Abby said, by the way, Happy National Women's Day. International Women's Day. So that's women from all over the world day.
No, that's like everyone all around the world celebrating.
That's what he just said.
That's basically what I just said.
No, you said like women all around the world. Like I thought you meant like women.
Yeah,
Are
women
you
all
talking
around
about-
the world.
You're not getting into the gender discussion, are you? Okay, never mind. So it's International Women's Day.
International Men's Day is November 19th.
When is it?
November 19th.
How come I've never heard of this?
Because we don't care. I don't really care.
Well, because
Why do we not know? How come I've never seen International Men's Day? Right, we heard the commercial. We heard them talk about it on the radio actually on the way over here
because
What?
about the International Women's Day. And
Yeah.
then
it's just. I mean.
How is it different?
No, I'm just saying there should be an international men's.
well, there is. When is
No,
it?
no.
November 19th.
November 19th.
Look that up
I'm
today.
just saying that. I don't know. I feel like the international. Like I'm not saying this is my opinion, but like a lot of people think that because women want like you know what I mean, like
Mm.
have been stroking down. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's promoted more because they've been through more and suffered more.
Does
that what you're saying?
International
In
Women's
different-
Day
in
include
certain
biological
situations.
males identified as women? I don't know. Does it?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't count?
Better not. It better not.
I have no idea.
Neither does Ike. So, yeah, but how come we don't? That's why we don't know about International Men's Day.
No, I'm not.
Why is it in November?
I don't know.
Why can't we get better weather for this day for men?
Well, women don't really get good weather either.
That's true. I don't know. Whatever. International Men's Day, International Women's Day. God bless all the women out there. What was funny about that?
That was so sarcastic.
No, it wasn't sarcastic.
God bless all the women out there.
Yeah. But they got to put up. They got to put up with us. Amy puts up with me ranting.
By the way, I didn't put anything up on this screen because I didn't know what to put up. Where is it going? Nothing really specific here.
Now, I wanted to talk about the whole thing, and I think I'll call your mother next week and talk about our discussion about what's a real Yankee. Leave that as a teaser. What constitutes a real Yankee? By the way, I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing so hard over there? I'm gonna throw you out. I'm gonna start writing a book, and we're gonna go backwards. It's gonna start at the end, and it's gonna go backwards, right? Like the Seinfeld episode. No, I'm gonna write a book that things that drive me crazy. So we're gonna start. I'm serious. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start writing this out. Things that drive me crazy. Maybe I'll break it up into sports stuff, this, that, and the other thing. The chapters will be very short, maybe like a coffee table book. Things that drive me crazy. It's gonna work backwards to number 1. We'll start at about chapter 547,000. We'll get back to 1.
Well, we're at an hour.
I already got 1. Look, I already got 1 sold. Kurt Vandermark will buy a copy. 1 sold. I'm gonna call the publisher right now and be like, look, we gotta get this going.
We're at an hour 9.
At an hour 9. I'm surprised. Huh?
I wouldn't buy it.
Oh, you've lived it. Mostly, but my rant.
Because you're gonna put me as I drive you crazy.
No. Why would I do that?
Why would he do that? That's too general. He needs something more specific.
Plus, I'm trying to have short chapters.
Well, like
I'm trying to have short chapters.
like
Not.
morning people?
Huh?
Like morning people?
What do you mean morning people?
No. I'm not saying like as an example like not that you eat morning.
No, I mean,
Envy morning people.
I've never seen that What Grinds My Gears segment, or have I? I don't know.
I don't know. They show the same 10 episodes.
Yeah, the same 10. Yeah, exactly.
TV.
On Cartoon Network, it's like, oh my god, I just saw this 2 days ago. Yeah, it's 47 seasons of Family Guy. You play the same 17 episodes. So I hate morning people. You mean people that are in mourning, or people that get up early?
Get up early. You envy them because you're jealous.
I wish I was a morning person.
Because you just wake up and you're like, what a lovely day.
I've been getting up early lately, though. Earlier than normal.
I'm gonna write this book. I'll make a note.
What's the deal with this NBA Top Shot stuff, huh? Need Mark in here. Need Nelson in here.
Yeah, people are buying those things for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it like a
I haven't
crypto?
looked up enough
Is it like a
stuff.
crypto card?
It's like a crypto highlight.
It's a crypto highlight reel that you go into a lottery and you buy it, and they release a certain amount of them.
There's not just one player though. There's not just one LeBron.
No,
card.
but
there's
it's
like
crazy.
multiple LeBron. There's like LeBron dunk, a LeBron block, a LeBron something.
And this is going to start a whole new thing. It's
Right?
going to start.
Am
It's going
I
to start
wrong?
movie. So real quick. So this is what it is. You go into a lottery, and let's say it's $20, and they make 50,000 of these, and you get a number, and if you're in number 1 to 50,000, then you're in, and you can buy one for $17. And what it is, it's a pack of like a digital highlight reel. And they're like sports cards, and there's rare ones, there's commons, there's all these different things. And if you get a rare one, they sell for like crazy money.
The highest I've seen is $200,000 at maximum.
Yeah. So the other day they had one that was like a pull that was like $199 to get in. It was like 50,000.
Yeah, I got an email because I signed up and I'm like in the Discord or whatever. By the way, I get emails from the Wall Street Bets Reddit. I don't know how.
Do you read them?
Sometimes, like I just
You learn anything?
It's like GME, like we're going to the moon.
Going to the moon. Everybody's going to the moon. And then the people that got in late went not to the moon. So I think
Yeah,
that
so you can YouTube the highlights for free, but it's like this whole thing with like owning it and then like
yeah, but and there's only a certain amount of them, and I'm sure it's like in some kind of crypto blockchain.
yeah, there's rare ones and there's not as rare ones. There's different. I'm assuming the better highlight is gonna be more rare. Right? Like
Yeah, but what's the value of, like?
there's no value.
Well, there's
What's the
value because they're selling for
Dogecoin?
hundreds.
What's
People
the-
are reselling for
What's
hundreds
the
of thousands
value
of
in
dollars.
Dogecoin?
No, nothing because it's infinite. That's the problem with that crypto is they're There's no limit.
What's the value in sports cards?
Well, it's rarity, right? That's the value.
That's the thing with this, but only it's the same thing as that, but only digital.
But it's not a physical thing that can get damaged, right? So
Well, we're turning into a digital age now.
I know it's crazy. Are they gonna do this with like movie scenes and actors and all that kind of movies?
This is
and all that
open
kind
up
of
the
shit?
floodgates for doing a bunch of different stuff. Like baseball can do this, hockey can do this, football can do this. Football, I would not be surprised if football started doing this.
Players are buying the highlights,
Yeah, players are buying them,
and then there's
selling
only
their own highlights for $100,000
it's crazy. I can't believe it.
that I could literally just go on YouTube and just watch. But that's not what it is, though. It's just you own it. It's like a card.
Yeah, you must have some sort of pass key. Like I saw an article
Yeah,
about
like they
somebody.
made me keep some kind of code. They like you safely copied this code and put it somewhere, like when you first sign up. So I had to copy and paste it in like my notes section of my phone, and I have it. So in case I pull like $100,000 card, then
So what if I
lose it.
make blockchain highlights of you and Abby?
I don't know. I mean, you could.
Blockchain? It's a way to store data that I'll have to explain. It's very
What happened to that one dude that had like 2 trillion in Bitcoin? Until like $500 million.
oh, he had like 50 million in Bitcoin and he didn't know the password.
Yeah, what?
I have no idea.
It's
I have no
probably
idea.
a lot more now because last time we said that it was at 39,000. Now
Like
what's Bitcoin at?
50,000. Close to it. Was at 50 earlier.
We were at 40,000, I think, when we were talking about
Yeah.
that, something like that. And now I'm gonna check right now.
I mean, I saw an article the other day about an artist who created a painting, and what they did is they encrypted they somehow downloaded or digitally made the painting on the blockchain, and then destroyed the work of art. So the only way you can get it is on the blockchain.
So Bitcoin was at max 57,000. It's at 52,000 right now.
That's like the guy who bought the Bitcoin pizza.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like he paid like 300 Bitcoin for a
Dogecoin is
pizza because the Bitcoin was
probably
worth like 24 cents, and he had all these Bitcoin, and he bought a pizza.
Dogecoin's back at 6 cents.
I was like, no, it was like thousands of Bitcoin. I'll have to look it up. You can Google it, but it was like he paid hundreds or thousands of Bitcoin
I don't
because
even know what I would do
because they're worth a penny. And now, this was like 2 years ago. It was like if he would have kept it, he would have like $200 million.
It was more than 2 years ago.
It's like 200.
It had to
he
have been
pissed
at
away
least-
$200 million
it had to have been at
on a
least-
pizza.
Like 5 years ago.
That's the ultimate pizza review. That's the guy Dave Portnoy should get on.
Yeah.
How was that pizza? That's a $200 million slice of pizza. Oh my God.
Well, been an hour 15.
Yeah, we're out. We're gonna pack it up. By the way, again, stop complaining about the roads. There's shit everywhere.
At the end, do you normally put on the picture? Do you normally?
Well,
Exit
what I'm
out
gonna
with it?
yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the button.
Yeah, and then you
The
go
Greg
to this.
Combs music special is gonna come on. Abby, you got something to say before we go? Come over here. You gotta come over here and then speak into the microphone.
Bye. Joe Girardi deserved better.
She loves Joe Girardi. Well, he's with the Phillies. He's gonna manage the Phillies.
Yeah, I know, but like now I have to convert to the Phillies.
You're converting. Didn't you want to convert and be Jewish at one point?
I still do.
Yeah.
Because I'm nothing. I'm nothing.
Yeah. What do you mean you're nothing? You're a Krantz. That's high. You got to hold that in high esteem. Oh God, we're terrible. All right. We went. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. I want to thank my co-host Jake for running things here and keeping the show going because I didn't want to cancel. So I dragged him in. He came away from his homework. The 47 hours of homework he's got. He'll be up till 2 in the morning tonight. You can thank me for it. Thank Abby for coming in and offering her P's and Q's or whatever you want to call it. Thanks everybody for listening. Peace.